Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Gaura Pimanande Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Tri Prajgachadya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Boy Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandiviti Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jainitai Gaura Pimanande All gladies to the assembled devotees, all gladies to the assembled devotees, all gladies to the assembled devotees, all gladies to see Guru and to see Gauranga, all gladies to see the Prabhupada Ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Taksurundilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamanam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Scha Hai Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutidevi Pranamami Haripriye Vansakalpa Turubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Jaivasam Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Ram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Todaya Madhiraya. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayasabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavijanaistiki. by regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee. All that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed with practice with the mill and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, whose praise with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamhitam Uttama-sloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayaram Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Om Sarabhyai Namaha. Mukham karoti vasanam pagom langayate girim yatkripat mahabande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yatkripat mahabande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Special welcome for Rajasekhar Prabhu, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. What time you came?
Yesterday night 10 o'clock.
Oh, last night, eh?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We stay Prabhu's home.
Prabhu's home?
Starting from
Oh, okay. Okay.
stay.
So you came last night?
Yes.
Okay. And you came this morning? You came this morning? When you came last night also?
Yes.
Okay, okay, my brother. Okay. So we are continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Slok number.
Yes, I'm just about to tell. I'm anxious to know. What's the slope? Yes, 1 second here. I believe we read 42 yesterday. Yes. Today we are reading 43. Canto number 1, chapter 15, entitled The Pandavas Retire Timely, text number 43. Okay. Chira Vasa Niraharo. Hare Krishna. Oh, you don't have the text, huh? Yeah. Baddha Van Mukta Murdajaha. Oh. Darshayan Atmano Rupam Jadunmata. Pishachavad. anavekshamano niragad asrinvan badiro yatha chiravasa niraharo Vadhavan mukta murdaja darshayan atmano rupam tadunmata pishachavat anavekshamano niragad asrinvan badiro yatha chiravasa niraharo vadhavan mukta murdhaja darshayan atmano rupam tadunvata pishachavat anavekshamano niragad asrinvan badhiro yatha chiravasa niraharo Bhadhavan mukta murdhaja darshayan atmano rupam jadunmatta pishachavat anavekshamano niragad asrinvan badhiro yatha chiravasa niraharo vadhavan mukta murdaja darshayan atmano rupam tadunmatta pishachavat anavekshamano niragad asrinvan badhiro yatha Chiravasaha accepted torn clothing. Niraharaha gave up all solid foodstuff. Madhavak stopped talking. Okay. Muktamurdhaja untied his hair. Darshayan began to show Atmanaha of himself, Rupam bodily features, Dara inert, Unmata mad, Pishachavat just like an urchin, Anavekshamanaha without waiting for, Niragat was situated, Asrinvan without hearing, Badhiraha just like a deaf man, Yatha as if. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Raghava Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. After that, the Maharaja Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods, voluntarily became dumb, and let his hair hang loose. All this combined to make him look like an urchin or madman with no occupation. He did not depend on his brothers for anything, and just like a deaf man, he heard nothing. Kindly repeat after me. After that, Maharaja Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods, voluntarily became dumb, and let his hair hang loose. All this combined to make him look like an urchin or madman with no occupation. He did not depend on his brothers for anything. And just like a deaf man, he heard nothing. Purport. Thus, being freed from all external affairs, he had nothing to do with the imperial life or family prestige, and for all practical purposes, he posed himself exactly like an inert, mad urchin, and did not speak of material affairs. He had no dependence on his brothers, who had all along been helping him. This stage of complete independence from everything is also called the purified stage of fearlessness. So this is the continuing story of Yudhishthira Maharaj, who, upon receiving the news that Lord Krishna had completed his pastimes in Vrindavan, thought of also completing his pastimes. As a king, he was serving, as we discussed briefly yesterday, he was serving how many years? He was the emperor of the world. 125? No. 125 came up yesterday also. 125, that's how many years Krishna lived, right? Krishna performed his pastimes for 125 years. Huh? So we were asking the question yesterday also, how old was Krishna when the battle of Kurukshetra took place? 95. Very good. He was 95, and Krishna, his pastimes were 125. That means that there was 30 years. 30 years was the time that Yudhishthira Maharaj, he ruled as the emperor of the world. 30 years is a good amount of time. There's so many duties and responsibilities. But upon receiving the news from Arjuna, who had gone to Dwarka, then Yudhishthira Maharaj decided, okay, now my time has come. So here it is described what he has done. He gave up his royal dress, king's dress, very nicely, very, very rich cloth. He gave up and he took on torn cloth, ordinary cloth, torn cloth. And then he stopped eating solid food. What does it mean to stop eating solid food? Huh? It means stopping to eat rice. Rice is considered solid food. Grains. Grains are like, yeah. Actually, in old age, one should stop taking grains. I have to tell that to my cook. My cook doesn't believe me. In old age, why? Because, like Kartik, during the month of Kartik, there are different vows that one can take. So one of the vows is to not take any grains, either for the whole month or for the last month. Some people don't take any grains during the whole Chaturmash, 4 months. Or they will follow certain vows on the last month, which is Kartik, month of Kartik. Why not to take grains? Grain is called solid food. That is also any kind of grain makes the body more heavy. Isn't it? Sometimes when we eat a lot of rice and we try to read, we cannot read because all the energy is in the stomach. So for those who are practicing spiritual life, eating too much grain is not good, and in old age we are meant to practice more, with more concentration, spiritual life. Yeah. Vanaprastha and sannyas are periods where one, especially as one gets older, then so Yudhishthira Maharaj was showing by proper example. And then in addition to wearing old clothes and not eating solid food, he voluntarily became dumb. Means he didn't speak to anybody. To avoid all kinds of, because very often when we speak to people, the conversations are not always Krishna Katha. So he purposely, in other words, he became more what we call introvert. Introvert means going inside, isn't it? Spiritual life means to go inside, to increase our concentration, our meditation. Krishna's system of the different, we call spiritual orders of life, ashram, brahmacharya ashram is brahmacharya ashram. Then grihastha ashram, then vanaprastha ashram, then sannyas ashram. So they all have a purpose to become, to prepare ourselves to become completely detached from all material things. Because, as explained previously, even we have one thought, one material thought, or one material hankering or desire, that is the mind, thinking, feeling, willing. When we are in the material world, our thinking, feeling, and willing is about material things. And so ashram is helping us to transfer our material thinking, material feeling, and material desire from material to spiritual. Yeah. So therefore, people who take vanaprastha and sannyas, they are generally they are closely connected with ashram. Of course, Mayapur is a whole ashram. Mayapur Dham, Vrindavan Dham. India is full of dhams. Yeah. We're living in Dham. It's also Mayapur Dham. The whole of Navadvip, 9 islands is Dham. Mahaprabhu performed so many pastimes. So when we live in the Dham, then more easily we can absorb our consciousness. So here, Yudhishthira Maharaj became dumb, and then he let his hair hang loose. Because in family life we keep nice hair. Usually we have to look after the body in so many ways. So there's a picture of Yudhishthira Maharaj with a stick. Some people say this sannyas stick, not sannyas. Yudhishthira Maharaj did not take sannyas, but he took a stick. Actually, when one takes vanaprastha, one can take a stick, especially if one lives in a place where there are monkeys, because the stick is very good to keep the monkey. Here we have some monkeys also.
Yeah.
Huh?
They are not attacking the
Not attacking, huh?
visitors.
No, but if you go a little close, they might.
Vrindavan, they will take the steps.
Yeah. Vrindavan, they like to steal. They like to steal. Yeah, especially they're fascinated by what people are wearing. Yeah. A few years ago, we were in Vrindavan. We went to where did we go? We were traveling, and just chanting and whatnot. One of our devotees, some people wear glasses all the time. You wear, yeah. Some people wear sometimes for reading, like I wear for reading. So anyway, Bharat Chandra Prabhu, I think you know him. He was with us. He lives in South India. So he was walking along with everyone. Then all of a sudden, it happened so quickly. Some monkey came down and took his glasses and went up. And he cannot see so well without glasses. So he was telling, my God, what I will do now, no glasses. So Brother Vasi, they're very intelligent, because this happens all the time. So immediately one young boy, he went and he took some biscuit, and he got the attention of the monkey. Hey, like this. So he threw the biscuit, and as soon as the monkey caught the biscuit, then he threw the glasses. He got something better. Now he cannot eat glasses.
Nowadays they are giving these fruity packets. These young boys, they will come and purchase fruity. Pay for the fruity, then can give to the mama.
Yes.
Sometimes they run away with the glasses, the fruity will not go.
And there are many leelas like that. So then we had to didn't have to, but give a donation to that young boy.
And they do it perfectly.
Huh?
And then they'll teach the monkeys.
Yeah, right. I'm sure there's a whole...
They are clever.
Yes, they're most clever. They have one pack, one understanding with the monkeys. You do this, I'll give this. Yeah. So we get a little idea here. Yes. So in other words, he voluntarily put himself in a situation that people will not give any attention to him. He made himself like, here it says like a urchin. Urchin is someone who is like, we usually see small boys who have no parents and who are loitering, and sometimes when we go to the railway station, we see boys trying to collect, they don't have any home like that. They're very dirty, they're urchin, neglected. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, uh, why did he do this? In order to break connection with things that are material, so that he could more concentrate. And it will be explained in the next few verses. Then in this state, in this condition, in this material condition, in this state of mind, his idea was, it's a very good idea, to just leave everything, and he went to the Himalayas. He didn't even think about his brothers. Normally we're very attached to brother, family members. But of course his brothers, that will be explained, they also followed him. They did the same thing. They knew that, okay, now Krishna is no longer here, and we've already been ruling for so many years. Now it is time, because that means that by that time, Parikshit Maharaj, who was conceived and took birth at that time, isn't it? At the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, that means that Parikshit Maharaj was 30 years of age, and therefore quite ready to take up. So that will also be explained. Yudhishthira Maharaj gave the responsibility to Parikshit, his grandson, to become the new emperor. Yeah. So very different from what is taking place today. Those who are in politics, even they are above 80 years of age, they don't want to leave because they have a nice situation, so many facilities, etc. So we can get good understanding. Personalities like Yudhishthira Maharaj, they are showing by personal example. Yeah, Vanaprastha, in the olden days, by the age of 50, when the children would be grown up, because one would marry normally before the age of 25, sometimes younger also, so that after 25 years of married life, the son is 25 years of age, like that. And then what else is here? Yeah, he did not depend on his brothers for anything. And just like a deaf man, he heard nothing. So he did not speak, he did not speak, and he did not hear. That is Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Nasauchati Nakanchati. He became fixed in what all of us, what is the goal for all of us, to become fixed and focused on the primary goal and objective. In one lecture, Prabhupada actually was talking about sannyas, and he was telling that actually one can take sannyas anytime. We have examples in India especially, some young boys sometimes will take sannyas. So it means that at any time in life, we should, as soon as possible, we should become more focused, more fixed, more serious about our spiritual practice, and not remain entangled in so many different things. Yeah. And that is especially more difficult for someone like Yudhishthira Maharaj because he was living in so much opulence, so much material opulence. He had so many servants. He could just, in one word, command and people, they would do so many things. Yeah, but in other words, he completely became, within a very short time, uh, completely became detached from this material world, external things. Yeah. And the verse also, the word is there uh, about, yeah, in this way he became fearless. Yeah. When it is only when we become fully, completely dependent on Krishna that we become fearless. Otherwise, we have different anxieties. Anxiety means fear, different fear. Everyone is fearing in the material world, except those who are fully surrendered to Krishna. Therefore, bhaja hurimana srinandanandana abhaya sarandara vindare. Srila Prabhupada's name was Abhay from the very beginning. Abhay. So, in the last sentence of the purport, Prabhupada mentions this stage of complete independence from everything. Independence from everything means dependent on Krishna. Is also called the purified stage of fearlessness. Fearlessness, yeah. And in tomorrow's verse, we'll not, because there's a long purport, it mentions that then in that state of mind, actually Srila Prabhupada, there's some, we can say, parallel. Parallel means it was it's a major decision, to leave one's material activities, to leave especially the position of being the emperor, not just ordinary king, emperor of the world. And he started for unknown place. Unknown place means he went to the Himalayas. So, in a similar way, Srila Prabhupada, he mentally prepared himself to go to an unknown place. He went western countries. Yudhishthira Maharaj went north, the Himalayas, but Prabhupada had a purpose to go to the west, which is very different from the purpose that most people from India go to the west. People in India go to America to try and get something. Prabhupada was explaining in one lecture, I did not come to America to take something from America. I came to America to give something, to give Vedic culture, to give Vedic knowledge, isn't it? Yeah. Otherwise, Prabhupada had no interest to go to America. His only purpose was to introduce in other places through America this, and especially back here in India. That was Prabhupada's thinking. Our people in India, they're forgetting their duties, their dharma. Let me go to America and bring back some of these dancing white elephants, and that will help for some people to wake up and understand that, yes, other people are following our culture. Why we should not follow our own culture?
Prabhupada when we have difficulties in family affairs and he considered that that's the time to retire. He didn't want to rest, but he could. So why he didn't went immediately to rest? He had money enough, some spare money, so he could buy a ticket of ship, normal ship, or
You
why
mean
he didn't go to
when
rest
he was
immediately?
when he was Grihastha?
After Grihastha, when he had this conflict with his wife.
Yeah. Well, it's explained that Prabhupada gives a quote, very important quote, in the Bhagavatam, where it mentions that to show special favor, very important quote, I don't know it by heart, but to show special favor to his devotees, Krishna will sometimes take everything away. So Prabhupada is telling, my business was going well and I thought I would serve in this way. And then I lost everything. Prabhupada actually lost everything. So, and of course, because his wife was more attached to tea than to his wife was not supporting him so much. And we know the story. She brought his Bhagavatam to the pawn shop to get some money to buy some tea. Prabhupada said that was the last, that's when he decided to leave home. So, in other words, Prabhupada didn't, at the end, in his householder life, did not feel it was yet the time. He went to Vrindavan. Before going to Vrindavan, of course, he took blessings from, came to Mayapur. He came to Mayapur also before going to the Western countries. And he went to Vrindavan as Vanaprastha. Prabhupada took Vanaprastha actually. He was in Vanaprastha dress and consciousness. He was actually not thinking of taking sannyas. Prabhupada explained, I didn't want to take sannyas. I only took sannyas because my Guru Maharaj came in dream 2 or 3 times that, Abhay, you have to take sannyas. And then, so like this, especially after taking sannyas, then Prabhupada thought, yes, now it is the proper time, and he wanted to also have something substantial. So to bring something substantial means the first canto, translation of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. As soon as that was printed, I don't know how many copies, maybe 100 copies of the first canto in 3 volumes. So he felt, okay, now I have some books, now I have sannyas, danda. So sannyas danda means preaching, so now it is the time. So that's when, and he had no money, huh? That's why he went begging for a ticket on the cargo ship, Jaladuta. And by Krishna's mercy and arrangement, he was able to go. Just imagine, over 1 month on the ship, never been out of the country. Then the miracle happened. When we fully surrender, Krishna makes miracles happen. Then Prabhupada would say, he would tell some of his early disciples, yes, I was householder. I had 4 or 5 children. But now I have hundreds and thousands of children. Krishna has sent me hundreds and thousands of children. So, yeah. Yes. Yes.
As you said, like sannyasi, anytime, like is there any age factor to take sannyasi, or anytime?
Prabhupada, as I mentioned, Prabhupada said any time means that any age one can take sannyas. Of course, if one is married, one cannot be irresponsible, and within our society there is a provision. Provision means if one is married, a wife has to give permission. Not that just, okay, you wake up one morning, okay, I'm taking sannyas today, or whatever, or leaving home. If there are still children, dependent children at home, one needs to make proper arrangement for the children and for the wife also before taking sannyas. But the point being that if one, for example, is not married and still young, then there's no age limit as such. We have many examples in India. Even at the age of 7, it's most unusual, 7 or 12. How old is Krishna Chaitanya now?
No, 15.
15.
Yes.
Ah, already 15.
Coming before 10 days.
Oh, just before 10 days, birthday. Okay. We have one devotee here, he's 16. Yeah, I don't think you met him. You'll meet him later. Some new devotees have come. One is 16, one is 18, and you are 15. So you're the youngest. Yeah. So there is no age.
Maharaj, can I ask if it's not too personal, how you took sannyas? Someone asked you to take sannyas, or you asked for? What was that situation in early ages?
I was not hankering for sannyas. I was brahmachari, and it kind of like it came more like naturally. Some devotees were telling, "Why don't you take sannyas?" And so it was more like that. Then yeah.
And then some authority put you on the list of
Yes.
asking for Prabhupada.
No, this because I I took sannyas after Prabhupada left. So I didn't take sannyas from Srila Prabhupada. So that was I was here in Mayapur, and normally we serve under different authorities. Here in Mayapur, in those early days, there were 2 co-directors. Bhavananda, at that time, he was Maharaj, and then Jaiptak Maharaj. So some devotees were serving under one director, and other devotees were serving under another director. So I was serving under Jaiptak Maharaj. And then some people had mentioned to him, this Raghava Pandit, you should give him sannyas. So anyways, at some point, that some recommendation. And nowadays, it's very, it becomes somewhat complicated. It takes usually a couple of years there's a whole kind of like procedure to be recommended, and then once you are recommended also, normally you're put on a waiting list, and the waiting list will vary. It will be usually a couple of years, even up to 4 years or 5 years. In the early days, it was like more simple. So it was actually in 1984, Gaur Purnima, that's when I was recommended for sannyas. Because normally recommendations, they needed to be discussed and approved by the GBC. So in Gaur Purnima, 84, I was recommended for sannyas. I was recommended to take the following year. So then maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks after recommendation, that's when we had this bomb accident in Mayapur. Dacoits attacked the temple. And so, I mean, there was nothing connected with my thinking with that incident and taking sannyas. But so the following year, Gaur Purnima, was it 1985? That's when I took sannyas. Here in Mayapur on Gaur Purnima.
So this fearlessness is a kind of quality for someone taking sannyas. So before someone recommended or taking sannyas, that fearlessness should be fixed in the consciousness.
Yeah, there are various criteria. One of them is that one should be doing something in terms of the preaching, some preaching, some substantial kind of preaching activity to demonstrate one's being active and So in those days, in 79 actually, in September or October of 1979, I'd been given the responsibility to head up the Namhata program in Mayapur. It was started in a small office that was under Devtak Maharaj. So that program was quite active, and so that was connected with my taking sannyas. Yeah, means one needs to have a kind of a solid service, solid preaching activities. And then after taking sannyas, I was here for maybe 1 or 2 years. Then I went to Calcutta to continue some activities. Okay, I think we can close for now. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Pimanande.
Bhakti Raghava Swami Maharaj.
So, our old friends are coming back to see us. They're not forgetting about us. Najastika Prabhu. Just today we are, Krishna Balaram was in the small room. Now we gave him a little bit bigger room to prepare. And then more big coming there, yeah. And then after some time also more big. And Krishna consciousness always more. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit more.
I'm saying this long table below the deities are not strong enough, so you need better to put some support.
Under.
Yeah, and like making a little hole, put a stick,
Yeah.
metal, something, because